Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobes show. We have returned. Not quite sure what happened in the intermission. I think some leaves blew us away. But anyway, somehow we've managed to crawl out of the gutter and we're here for another go. I hope that's all right. 30 seconds and we'll be on our way. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Yes, we are back in the land of the living. Maybe a bit too loud there. Let me just turn my microphone down a fraction as I start talking to you. Back here in the house. The lovely Julia and I have been on our travels over the earlier part of this week, as you no doubt know, and hopefully you've been following our exploits. But they're just minor ones. Thanks to COVID. Thank you, Mr. COVID. We've not been able to do all the wonderful things that we were hoping to have done by this point. We were hoping to have been all sorts of places, lots of exciting plans that have been scuppered, I tell you, by the COVID. But anyway, we have managed to escape Sussex and go and do some fantastic things. We have a wonderful interview in tomorrow's Bold Explorer show with Patrick Holden, who is the founder and chief executive of the Sustainable Farming Trust. I've banged on about it. It's a fantastic interview. It's a long one. We're standing there in amongst some cows. Now, please calm down. I did mention the C word, but we were there. These were Ayrshires. These were nice ones. It's all right. Nothing to worry about. And we spoke about sustainable farming and the steps that one needs to do and where it needs to go. And I can tell you, those people that used to say to me, Richard, you just read some books. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. Well, I can tell you that there is a whole force of people who think just the same. And it's a shared enthusiasm and knowledge that I am no longer alone. It's amazing to speak to somebody who is high up there in the pinnacle of, who knows about sustainable farming. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that in today's show. That's irrelevant. That'll be in tomorrow's show. I hope you enjoy it. You can examine it and pull it apart and say whatever you like about it. So that's with Patrick Holden. That's tomorrow. We also met Fran and Rich from Floating Our Boat. Wonderful, lovely people. I noticed that they're out there. Hello to you. Bonsoir, they say. Bonsoir, bonsoir. Pass me the bucket. We are floating our boat as long as we keep bailing out. But don't worry. This is really exciting. We were, the lovely Julia and little Joe and I, on Costanza, the international famous boat. You saw us if you watched the video. We were on it. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was transmentacuperistic. And not only was it transmentacuperistic, we were a stone's throw from Costanza 2, whatever it's going to be called, from the second float in our boat, from boat number 2. This is Fran and Rich told me that they're going to get a U-boat. They're going to have a submarine now under the canals. They're going to go with just a little periscope up, and they'll surface as and when they feel like it. Apparently, it's being made. It's being made in 100 little meter thing that's not owned apparently by the boatyard, but this private little canal that we were just a stone's throw from the edge of, and it was in this tunnel thing, this boatyard. We couldn't see it. It's under secret wraps, and only Float in Your Boat will know about it. But it's coming. and we're looking forward to seeing that. But we were there, so we did that. They were the two things, and we're back. We're back to boring normality. It's strange to be back to I've got to go out and make videos on ordinary things again and do the Vobe show, and I'm here, and it's nice to be here. Anyway, let's find out who is actually out there in the Vobosphere. And by the way, thanks to Philip and Fiona. I think it was Fiona Hammond who was doing this stuff. No, not St. Vitus dance. It's knitting with needles. I haven't got needles. This thing that I don't know how much you can see of it in this light. This lovely navy blue U-boat sweater is U-boat? Canal boat. She knitted it for me and said it's perfect for when you go on the canal. By the way, we are going on the canal as of tomorrow, which is Saturday, a week from tomorrow. So a week, in 8 days' time, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back there rowing our boat, unless they give us one with a motor, which we do hope. And we're very excited. Very, very excited. We can't wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be great. Anyway, thank you to Fiona. So lovely of you to have knitted this. I thought I would wear it because the evenings are getting colder now. Have you noticed? All of a sudden, it's got cold. I've had to lit the Essie a little bit longer than normal. Blessy the Essie. I was out there making bread only a few mows ago. Anyway, hello to Penny Tyndall. Nice to see you. The lovely Julia. Good evening to you. Judith is there. Kerry Baldwin. Ron Langley. Float in our boat. Bonsoir to you. Connor's Dark Corner. Audrey. Linda. Days of. John F. Not John F. Kennedy, by the way. Tracy Murphy, welcome back. Thank you so much. Penny says good opening. Thank you very much. It's nice to have a good opening. It's a good opening. Darren Howell and Alan Sandell and Ramiboo and Mark Donny and Ed Loud and Mike Stevens and Ray Ballinger. Or is it Roy? I just went through it very quickly and now it's moved. Ron Langley, Peter Lowry, Roy it was, Joseph Newman. Nice to see you. Turbo, it was great to see Turbo. I almost forgot that in the excitement of Patrick Holden and floating our boat, we saw internationally famous Adrian from Turbo Stream, who we have a video of his to play in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who has the most amazing, short but big enough camper van. Super duper. You probably saw our video on our little tour around it. And wasn't it exciting? Wasn't it brilliant? And only for £5.50. Bargain. Not a U-boat, a new boat. Oh, it's a new boat. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Fran and Rich. I thought you said you were getting a U-boat, but it's a new boat. It's a new boat. So will you be having a conning tower? Will you be having a conning tower? Please have a conning tower. You could get people on board and con them, couldn't you? And say, yes, you know, the Germans came up here in 1939 and they circled around like sharks. But we were there. We weren't. Our dads and mums were there and they saw them off. Get off, you naughty little German Nazi people. Anyway, yes, a new boat. Andrew Murphy. Hello to you, Andrew Murphy. Andrew Norris is also there. Andrew Gabriel is there. Andrew White, Andrew Croser, and Mark Donny. Andrew. No, wait. Calm. Andy Dalglish, Nigel Sadler. We all live in a Vobes submarine. You will be. Yes, that's right. We all live in a Vobie submarine. A Vobie submarine. A Vobie sub. Pass the bucket, will you? We all bail in a Vobie submarine. There's no conning tower on this one. What do you mean? Would it Fran and Rich have nicked it? What, they can't nick that? Oh, my giddy. Anyway. Here we all are. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming along and giving me a big welcome back to the show. It's nice to be here. Did you miss me? Yeah! Did you miss me? Yeah! Did you? No, of course you didn't. You got things done of an evening, didn't you? I know what you like. Now, on tonight's show, I want to talk about something completely off the record. I want to talk about these. Know what they are? Why is that moved? The little camera I set up and had it all there. It's still not quite right. Hang on. There we go. Yes. Vitamins. I want to talk about vitamins. Are you people who take vitamins? Do you take supplements? I want to know, do you take them? Do you rate them? Are they a load of bunkum or are they worth doing? I've been trialing these for about a month now, these vitamins. I take about one an hour. It's supposed to be very good. One is makes a good castanet. All that live in a Vobes submarine, a Vobes submarine, a Vobes submarine. Whoa! Oh, we live in a Vobes submarine. Way! A Vobes submarine. Whoa! Vobes submarine. All aboard! Actually, what you can do with them, even if you've got one eye and it's not so hot, is to juggle on them. Yeah, that looked quite good. I'm just looking at the action replay on the slow motion action replay Vobatrona machine, whatever that is. Yeah, so multivitamins I've got here. I've got some, what are these? Omega-3, Omega-6 and Omega-9. One a day, it said. One a day. These are, I think they're jumping beans. Will you stop that? And in this one, I keep my spare teeth. Just in case I ever need to smile, because as you know, I very rarely smile. No, these are vitamin C and zinc. So that's that one there, which looks like what my dad used to take. The fish paste, not fish paste, the fish oil, whatever it was, cod's liver. Ooh, can you imagine a cod's liver being squeezed? Oh, I've just done it into my coffee. Ooh, never mind. And some, what is that one? Zinc. Bit of the kitchen zinc, I think that one is. So, let's find out. We will open the phone lines shortly, so don't panic. Penny is laughing her socks off, which is great. Put them back on afterwards, because I can see your toes. Andy Dalclay says, wishing you and Julie all the best on your narrowboat adventures. Thank you so much. That's very kind, Andy. What else? At home with such high. All Vobimins. Yes, Vobimins. If you take your Vobimins every day, you'll get as lively and as mad as me. Won't grow any hair, I'm afraid. So there we go. I take vitamin D, says Judith. Is that because you don't get out into the sun enough? Especially in the winter, isn't it? There's a lack of vitamin D, and one needs to get it. One needs to rip off one's clothes and get out there in the nude, in the sun, in the cold, in the snow. Maybe vitamin D would be the best answer for that. Not had cold or flu in years, says TurboStream. I take vitamin C and D. C and D. Now, we used to have some CDs in here in the old days, but there's no CDs in here. It's just CD in its own way. If you look at the floor, that's very seedy. I take Oily brand vitamins. Ollie brand. I take the Stan brand. Know what I'm talking about? Barry Hughes says, whatever you take, I need some. Hey! They're all in there, Barry. Mike Stevens says, only take vitamin C and zinc. You see, it's amazing actually how many people do take these things. Linda says, I take Vit D. Most of us are deficient. We are of a certain age. Cod liver oil capsules is all. Cod liver oil is supposed to be good for the joints. My dad used to take the brewer's yeast tablets, but he took those for years. He said it was going to put hairs on his head. He got dementia in the end. So I've kept off those. TurboStream says vitamin D helps to reduce the COVID thing if you catch it from the self-isolated. Yes. If you have enough vitamin D tablets, you can actually build yourself a vitamin D vest. You have to sew them on, which is very tricky. But once you've got them on, a bit like sequins all over you. Oh, hello, nice. Then, of course, you can be very COVID resistant. In fact, you can resist anybody because people will stay well away from you because they'll think you're completely raving bonkers, which, of course, you would be. Judith says, agree, many people are vitamin D deficient in this country because we don't have much sunshine. Bring me sunshine all the way. Yeah, mate, thanks. That's hot. Take it back. Put it back in the sky. Not now. It's nighttime. Well, it's nighttime here because where you are, I realise that there may be international viewers from all over the globe who may be having sun in different sort of places. It's quite difficult for the sun to get around in all those places all at the same time. It's almost as if it's not actually on the planet. But the flat earthers won't have that, will they? Zincapiton, whatever that is, says Michael White. I don't know what that is. Zincapiton. Syncopation. I like in syncopate. Got it. Very good. Like it. Darren says multivits, Vit C, Vit D, Vit B, complex and calcium. Gosh. Yeah, you see, the thing is, shouldn't all this lot be in our food? Should be, shouldn't it? Isn't. Should be, isn't. Should be. Sorry, the auto cue's just got stuck. Ray, can you just lift it up? No, not Eric. He's down there. Raymond. Don't you know? Raymond. Ray, lift. Thanks. Sorry about the terrible spelling, says Judith. No, don't worry about that. We love a bit of terrible spelling. And Veg Grower Podcast says, I don't take any supplements but eat plenty of fresh veg. Oh, and there we are. That explains his girth. His mirth. His mirth. That's why he's such the jolly fellow he is. In fact, Mr. Suggett, everybody should please give praise to Mr. Suggett, for he is my hero. Woe is me. When I came back from my journey, I found that up in stairs I could not wash a mare's, because my tap had no longer turned. It had gone, and my fingers burned. A rhyme is difficult on the live, so that is why I keep a hive. Anyway, Mr. Suggett helped me out, because when I got back from my excursions up in Wales, came in, thought I'd have a nice hot bath, turned the tap on. Well, couldn't turn the tap on very far, and nothing came. I had to get a new tap. And Mr. Suggett came round, and I said, is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's the Veg Grower Podcast. He's back here again. And he went, I've taken off my underpants, Richard. I said, put them back on, please. He said, no, they get in the way of my cloak. Oh, fair enough. And he parked his van, he flew in, he flew up the stairs, and he took one look and he went, well, I think you need a new tap. I said, oh, a new tap, Mr. Suggett. Yes, you need a new tap. Let me tap you for some money and I'll go and get one. And he disappeared. I don't know where he went. And then suddenly there was a train that was in distress, and somehow he managed to fix that. He tapped the wheels on the train. He was a wheel tapper. And then he came flying back and he did a tap dance. All right, Mr. Suggett, get rid of the cloak, because this is not really working. I want my tap fixed, please. And he said, do you want some vegetables? No, I've got a whole load from Turbo Stream. I've had marrow and whatever the other thing was, soup. It was very nice. Swede? Was it sweet, Adrian? Was that Swede you gave me? Very nice. I boiled them up, man. It was very nice. Anyway, Mr. Suggett helped me get my tap repaired. So big thank you to Mr. Suggett. Incredible. So that was great. Linda Kane says, don't take vitamin C. Can't remember the last time I had a cold. The only time I had flu was at the age of 9. Nigel Sadler says, have you tried eating the contents rather than the boxes? Yes, maybe that's a good idea. Robert Croser says, can't eat them through my mask. No, well, these days, of course, when you go into a cafe or restaurant, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new Vobes restaurant. You please come in, make sure you wear your mask. But do not worry, you can sit down without a mask, because we now have edible masks. That's what you remember years ago there was edible underwear for those people of a kinky disposition who didn't mind having it tasting of wee. Well, now they've come up with edible masks. Perfect idea. You stick them on and you can lick them on the inside. Stops those people moaning about wearing them, because there's somebody going, aniseed, vanilla, raspberry. Nice. So lickable masks, I think that's the future. That is the way we're going to go. Or they could be fragrant, couldn't they? They could, you know how smells take you back to another time, another place, another world. What was that? That was an advert, wasn't it? Another time, another place, another. It was like the Pearl and Dean coming through then. See these flies in here? I had 2 of them, Pearl and Dean. I've got one of them. I'm just waiting for the other one to come flying by. Anyway, none of that is important. None of this is important. We're all wasting. You're wasting your time. Anyone who watches this is just basically wasting their time. I know what it's like. I waste my time doing it, but it's fun though. You've got to admit, it's a little bit of fun. What is it? Robert Croser says, I wanted COVID, but I got the compromise. Rhodes Andrew. What? What I mean? What? Oh, Croatia. I wanted Croatia. What do you mean you wanted Croatia? You wanted to go to Croatia? Is that what you mean? Get an edible mask, Robic. That's right. Mike Dixon says white bread had so few nutrients, the government insisted they were added. Yeah, well, they got rid of them. Didn't we read that on the show or somewhere the other day where there was not Andrew, it was Mr. Sadler. Whoa, Neddy! Nigel Sadler got his old newspaper out. He's only ever had one and he's kept it for many, many years, and it's now a bit frayed around the edges, but it's brilliant because it said, white bread is here again. White bread is here again. Da-da-da, white bread. And the population were going, white bread? Sorry, mate. No. We want wholemeal bread. We don't want any of the goodness. No, but this is white bread with all the goodness taken out. It's great. And we'll slice it for you into the thinnest slices and make it as floppy. And actually, if your kids are a bit upset and bored and with nothing to do, just like that, because it goes gooey at the touch of a squeezed fist, and you can turn it into Play-Doh, because effectively, that's all it is. Yeah, very good. And it's white bread. Yeah, better than your mum could make. No, not really. Your mum could make it a hell of a lot better. Marrow, swede and beetroot says, oh yes, marrow, swede. That's a lovely, nice soup. The beetroot really gave it that sort of blood red look that looked like I'd just cut me stomach open. But it was very tasty. That with a bit of black pepper. Julia will advise you that the following sentence I'm going to say, or the following paragraph, depends how long I string this out, is true. We sat down to have a meal, and we made this meal up in our first barbecue place, Airbnb place, and we sat down of an evening, and it was very nice. I can't remember what we had. Oh yes, it was korma. That's right, it was korma. We had this lovely korma, and there was a slight error actually getting to the korma bit. To be fair, we nipped into one of those mini Sainsbury's because we realised we haven't got any food. We nipped into mini Sainsbury's in Shrewsbury, as it happened, and I said, "What should we have?" We said, "Oh, let's have a korma. That'd be korma. That'd be nice." So I went in there and I said, "Oh, we haven't got time to make it up. We'll be knackered. We've been driving and blah blah blah." So I grabbed a jar of korma. And we grabbed the chicken and all the other bits and bobs. And in the evening, Julia was making this up, and she said, "This is korma paste. This is paste, not sauce." And I thought it was sauce, you see. I mean, I just saw it said korma on it. I thought, oh, that's all right. I mean, I don't know how many cormorants go into a korma, but I'm sure that few of them do. Anyway, it was korma paste. So she said, yeah, we're supposed to have coconut oil, and we're supposed to have this, that, and the other that goes with it. And I said, oh, well, we've only got that and a jar of milk. So we made it up, and she did brilliantly, and it tasted all right, actually. It was spicy korma, nice. Only mine was a bit spicy because I picked up the house pepper pot, which had peppercorns whole in, and the top came off immediately. And pretty much the whole contents of the peppercorns went onto my korma dish, which, if you can think of korma as being a sticky substance on which once something like a little peppercorn that's dry goes in, it's stuck. You can't pick it out very much. And it was there. It was korma, 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 chameleon. Come and pick them out one by one. Or a tune that might be actually closer to that may have been done by a small kiddie called George. Anyway, yes, what are we going to... don't forget, what is this? Just checked. Audrey is a martini. Good. Joan Collins and Leonard Rossiter. Brilliant. They're talking about adverts now. Or was it Shinzano? There we go. Oh, Shinzano. Was it Bianco? No, it wasn't Bianco, was it? I think it was Shinzano. Bought some utterly delicious homemade brown bread on the Isle of Wight, but £3.50 for a small loaf. £3.50. You could have had one of my loaves for £4.99. But you have to buy a collects. Clive Waterfall says, arrived late, just back from a lovely afternoon hike on the South Downs near Burpham, no doubt following in the Vobesters' footsteps. Did you see any of my footsteps still there? The Iguanodon, I have followed him. He's got a great guidebook. The iguana has gone, actually. He's gone in the Jurassic period. Anyway, That's the price of real food, says Andrew Norris. Quite right, it is, unless you grow it yourself, of course. Anyway, I think what we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got everybody on the minerals, which is good. No idea why. I just suddenly thought, I've got to take minerals. Maybe I could talk about it on the show and see how many other people have minerals, and it seems that most of you do, which is great. So you're all keeping fit. It's a shame it's not in the food to begin with. We will open the phone calls, but first of all, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time where you don't actually get to see the animated video. That's right, because what you should have seen somehow was this. Oh, I wonder why that's not showing then. Is it because my mic... no. Try that. No, Sting's not showing up. Oh, that's very interesting. You see, you go away for a while, and Eric gets on the... Do you be mucking about with this, Eric? What's that? I hope the videos will show. Hang on, let's just try that again. I can play it, but you can't see it. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll worry about that on another occasion, in another show, when I've forgotten to do anything about it. I'll worry about it the next time round. Yeah, why not? Anyway, Mike Dixon and Bella have been on the Isle of Wight. You may have noticed. Dave's actually mentioned it himself. But Mike Dixon is on his way back. Let's find out what happens.
Hello, Vobesters. It's Mike Dixon and Bella with Helen, and we're off going back home from the Isle of Wight. We've had 2 weeks at Wootton Bridge. We've been blessed with very, very beautiful weather, and we're now back on the ferry going from Fishbourne back to Portsmouth. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. We've had a fantastic 2 weeks. Brought our bicycles. Bella's got her own basket, so she's cycled all around the Isle of Wight. Unfortunately, during the second week, I tripped over and fractured a bone in my right foot. So a visit to their A&E, and then a follow-up appointment with the consultant at the fracture clinic. But thank God it is on the mend and less painful. Originally it was excruciating. Anyway, we've had a fantastic time at the Isle of Wight, staying down at Wootton Bridge. We went out kayaking, even with a broken bone in my foot, but if anything it seemed to have helped it. I'm not sure if this consultant would have thought that was a very good idea, but my daughter came over for 4 days and joined us, and so we went out and just had a really lovely time. So now we're heading back home to Brighton, and Bella's had a wonderful holiday, which I must admit, after all the lockdown 2020, it was a great relief to get away. But here on the ferry we all have to wear masks, and there are social distancing. Anyway, thought I'd just share it with you. I'll pass you back to Richard. Take care, keep safe, bye.
Well, there we are. Yes. I'm surprised that on the ferry they didn't give you lickable masks. They're all the rage, you know. Lickable masks. Slightly obscene, but all good fun. Anyway, I'm glad that you managed to get back. How is the foot? We want to know, Mike Dixon. How is that foot? Are you recovered fully? It's all go. I spoke to, I don't know if people will remember, the very lovely Cynthia Julian, who has been in some of my videos recently. She was attending to her rockery only the other day, and she slipped and tripped on a stone, funnily enough, in the rockery, sliced the part of her ankle off, the bone, sliced it off, ended up in A&E, and is now hobbling around where she lives in Thacombe. She wasn't faking it. She really does live there. But yes, poor old. So our hearts and minds go out to her. She said, I'd rather have had COVID than have my legs sliced off. But yeah, no, she's been in a bit of a bad way, but she is fighting everything. So we're hoping that she's all right. And we hope that Mike Dixon and Bella, I would like to know, did Bella go kayaking in one of the kayaks as well? That would have been fun to have seen. Now, right, let's see if I can get the Go back to the show. There's the phone line. There we are. That bit's working. Terrific. So the phone line is now open, 0793 474 6790. What have you done since we've been away? Have you filled the time? What have you been doing in the evenings? Are you those that take your maracas wherever you go? Or are you crackers? Or don't you believe in any of it? Or whatever. Give us a call. Have us a chat with the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. We have got some more videos, of course, but it's nice to hear from you to see how you're doing. Glad that you had a great holiday, says Judith. Andrew Norris says, nice one, Mike. Days of Yore says, nice one, Mike. And Ron Langley also says, thanks, Mike. So that's great. Well, what do we have here? The Rovers return, says Sean James. Turbo Stream says that's a nice view off the ferry. And Julius says, lovely, all good stuff. You could have had my camper van for £5. Yes, you see, we were auctioning off Adrian's camper van for £5, but there were no takers. It's amazing. He spent a lot of money on it to begin with, and it is absolutely fantastic. Now, news on my van, ladies and gentlemen. Hoping still to get a lift. I'm going to be standing at the edge of the A24, hitching my way north up to Harrogate and beyond. Is there a beyond Harrogate? Has anyone been to Harrogate? Has anyone been there? I've been there a couple of times, but about 4 or 5 times I've been there, probably more actually. Just trying to think how many times. It's a lovely place, Harrogate. Anyway, I should be hitching my way up there because a very nice chap called Paul has MOT'd the van, and he has sent me pictures of the underneath of the van. And it's all spick and span is his van. Let's find out who is out there on the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi show. Hello, thank you for calling.
Oh, hi, Richard. It's Mike Dixon.
Mike
and Bella.
And Bella. Hello to...
Well, she's downstairs asleep.
Oh, bless her. So, tell us about the foot. We're all gagging to know.
Yeah. Well, just one evening, coming out of a pub, believe it or not. But I was sober.
Oh, yeah.
But, down at Wootton Bridge. But my wife loves telling everybody that he was coming out of a pub.
Yeah, of course he was.
But, I just stumbled because it was all very uneven, gravelly path.
Yes.
Walking back to where we were staying in the dark, and suddenly just my foot rolled over, and I felt something had gone, either a tendon or a bone. Anyway, I ended up in A&E, and they X-rayed it and showed me the fracture.
Was it big? Is it a big fracture?
About 1 centimetre in the metatarsal, is it?
Oh, yeah, golly, yeah, the metatarsal. I've been there. It's a terrible place. And was it excruciatingly painful?
Wow, absolutely, yeah, terrible. Yeah, terrible.
Was it?
But they just said don't walk on it for a bit and wear, strong leather shoes, so...
Oh, right, straight down to Clark's. Do Clark's still exist? I don't know whether they do.
I believe they do.
Yeah, so,
But it's a shame because we were having a marvellous time on the Isle of Wight. And anyway, about 2 days later, I strapped it.
Yeah.
And the 3 of us went kayaking for the day.
Oh, how amazing.
So, I thought you just bite the bullet and get on with the holiday, And actually, I think it helped.
Right.
Why, but,
you said that in the
did.
video, but in what way did it? What has it made it cure it better, or?
I don't know. I think it's as much mind over body. I think rather than sitting there worrying about it, I thought strap it up. And the guy that was leading us, he said if you get tired or it gets painful, then he would tow me. So at one point he did for about 10 minutes. So he was an absolutely charming guy who actually lived very near where we were staying.
It's a good job you weren't on a pedalo.
Yeah. And lucky enough, at that stage, we finished really using all our bicycles because for about 5 or 6, maybe more than that, at least 6 days, we'd cycled all over the
right.
Isle. And of course, Bella's got her basket, a basket on the back of Helen's bike.
Ah, lovely.
So she enjoys it.
Yeah.
And then we left the car at Wootton Bridge, and then they have some excellent cycle routes all over. It's a
lovely place. I do know the Isle of Wight reasonably well, and to cycle round is lovely because it's all doable.
Yeah, no, they've invested big money, building some of these kind of cross-country routes, and actually the scenery is like going from where we were staying into Newport.
Yes.
or going into Rye, there's actually very, very beautiful cycle routes, where if you're on the roads would chock-a-block,
Did you have a ticket to ride?
Yeah.
One's always got to ask that question.
Yeah.
The other question is, did they have these awful pop-up orange bloody cycle lanes over there?
No, they don't. No, because the roads are fairly narrow over there. So
nowhere to put them.
No. Yeah, I know. In Worthing you got them, and in Brighton. But over there they've got these cross-country ones. It's part of the national cycle route. So,
yeah.
Which is quite good because they're keeping the cyclists away from the cars, and the cars away from the cyclists. So and it encouraged us to have a bit of exercise, So
even with a broken whatever torso thing, that one, the meta tags.
Well, I'd say that was before the cycling, but lucky at that stage we'd actually decided to, because our daughter came over because. She's now gone back to university, but she came over to where we were staying for 4 days, and so we were going out and about and doing things, and so we had the kayaking and using the car,
Fantastic. Have you ever broken a bone before?
No, never.
No. I've never had a bone broken. Touch something sensible, but also I've never been stung by a wasp.
No, I don't think I have. If I have, I haven't had any reaction to them. I'll tell you what it does with all these kind of things, and having worked myself in the NHS, and obviously I recently retired.
Yeah.
But it makes you realise that you can have all your wealth and all your things in life, but your health is absolutely crucial.
Yes. Yeah. As soon as you get, as you may remember, I pulled a muscle in my back. It was, silliest thing. I don't even know how I did it. I just, one day it was like, oh no, I think I did it on the bicycle. That's why I did it on the bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day I couldn't walk, and it took about a week to sort of ease off. And I kept walking, and then there was one point where I walked about half a mile, couldn't go any further, and I had to somehow get back, which I did, and I made a video out of it. Of course, everything's a video in my world.
Yeah.
But it's as soon as you have something happen to you, you suddenly realise by how much we take for granted our ordinary everyday health, and particularly our mobility.
Absolutely. And and also online I follow 2 cruise bloggers, and Sean, they're over in America. He's having cancer treatment, and they've had to remortgage literally their whole home. And his wife, Steph, is having to do 9 jobs. And even with the cancer, he's still having to do a load of kind of IT, computer design work.
My God.
To pay the bills.
9 jobs?
9 jobs. And you think she's got to support him while he's now on the 11th. He's just this week had the 11th course of chemotherapy.
Oh, my God. But it just goes to show you how lucky we are to have the NHS and how we shouldn't abuse it.
Absolutely. And, with my, tripping over, the next day, I left it the next day just to see how it goes. But then I rang the old 111, and they were very helpful. And they said go to the A&E at St Mary's Hospital on the Isle of Wight. So I went up there, and they had all my file ready on their computer. And they just go through, and I saw a specialist. And they did what they did, and then the next day they gave me crutches and everything then, and treatment, and they X-rayed it and everything, and then the following day at 10 o'clock they arranged for me to see the consultants of the fracture team.
Blimey!
Came back at the hospital, and you think I said to my wife, I said to Helen, this has cost me nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. Within 48 hours, I've been to A&E, I've seen a specialist. I had the crutches, had all the advice and bandages and everything, and then the following day, seen the head of their team, the consultants of that fracture unit.
Yeah.
And I paid not a penny. And then this couple over in Sean and Steph, over in America, and I said to her, how are you going to cope? Because 9 jobs is not sustainable, is it?
She'd be better off buying a rubber dinghy and just sort of, trying to row over here and get it done for free. Seems to be the thing at the moment.
You can certainly see why people want to come over here,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Too controversial, but
No.
you can see it, you know.
No, we do have a great system that people knock, and the sad thing is that I know from my son and his girlfriend who work at the NHS in the local hospital here, and Billy works in A&E in the reception department, and he says the amount of entitled people who come in and abuse the system, and they come in because they've got a headache. And they waste time, or they just want somewhere to sleep for the night, or they've just walked out, they had a row with their wife and they want somewhere to sit. And it's it beggars belief, but that's the problem when you give people, there is always going to be a certain section of society that will just take that a little bit more than most people.
The one good thing that might come out of all this COVID stuff is at least from the Isle of Wight, is everybody has to ring 111, get your assessments and everything through there, and then they actually arrange for you to go to the A&E and actually give you a time slot.
Oh, right.
So I walked in, and as I say, on the computer, they had all my medical records through the NHS, and they had all the information. So I said to Helen at the time, I think this is a much better system. All the A&Es should be doing it. You can't go to the Royal Sussex County or Worthing Hospital or anywhere else in the UK without going via 111 and actually having that initial vetting.
Although I suppose if you're on the Isle of Wight, there's not that many people compared to perhaps all of Southampton or all of going to one hospital.
It's only one. Yeah, it's only one hospital for the whole of the island, so I think they are under pressure.
Right.
But if they can switch that to the whole of the UK, I'm on our patient participation group of our local GP surgery in Portslade. So we're going to have one of these Zoom meetings fairly soon. And I'm actually going to say that I thought the system worked better, and you get less of these people turning up, wasting their time.
Yes, well, if you can filter those out, then so much the better. It's so difficult to know, because you don't want to cry wolf on someone and then find out that this time, the one time is the time where they did really have an issue. Anyway, we better play another video. But thank you so much. I hope. How long will it be until you're?
A couple of weeks. It's actually already. A friend of mine is a chiropodist, so I went up to his surgery today, and he did this ultrasound treatment and put some kind of strap bandaging on it.
Yes.
And it is feeling better already. So I'm
glad.
And I've hired one of these electric mobility scooters. A little one.
Yeah.
It's from a charity in Worthing. You pay for it. But, they brought it round, and it enables me to take Bella around the park.
Ah, well, that's important. We mustn't.
It's quite fun as well. I'll tell you, it's quite fun. Whizzing around on this machine.
Yeah, good for you.
Good.
Good. Nice to talk to you, Mike. We must do a walk soon.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'll wait till you're out of your mobility scooter first.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Take care, Mike.
Take care.
Thanks for the call.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. That's the one and only Mike Dixon, and not Bella. Bella, who has 4 legs, was able to get out of the pub without tripping over. However, we'll take Mike's word for it that he wasn't having a bit of a booze up there. Time for another video. Let's just quickly have a look at some of your comments here. We've had quite a few. We need a Bald Explorer video thumbing a lift up the M1, says Turbo Stream. Yeah, that would be good. And oh, look, I'm getting a lift. His car's got 2 blue lights flashing at me. Oh, maybe I'll get up quicker. That would be good. Connor's Dark Corner says he hasn't got a passport. My passport ran out in 2006. I do need to get a new passport. But I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not worried. Bella's ventriloquist, is it what? Times of something. Harrogate, lovely place. Very good. Kerry Baldwin says, my GP surgery have started using video calling and an online request system. I think it's excellent. I think half of the time you don't need to go and see the doctor. I mean, obviously, if you've got something that... but if you've got, doctor, I've got a pain here, and you can describe it, they might say, okay, you better come in. But to other people, they may say, oh, yes, that's a classic symptom of wasting our time. Take one of our wasting our time lessons. You can download it on the end of the website. Take a long walk on a short pier. You'll find it. Andrew Norris says, will your scooter have a basket for Bella? It must have a basket for Bella. That's no good. Although, hello. Somebody else is calling in. Let's find out who that is before we go to the next video. Hello, caller.
Sadler here, People's Republic of Kent.
Ah.
Sorry, we won't let you in. You need a passport to come here now.
Ah, well, my
You
passport.
can't take any big vehicles either, so it's no good trying to get your camper van in either.
Oh, well.
You outside.
Oh dear, I've got a job's worth here. Listen, Mr. Sadler, we want every regular caller to have a theme tune. So I think I couldn't think of anything off the cuff that was better than the Lone Ranger.
Absolutely fine. Okay, I'll be the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger, because of Sadler, saddle, horse,
Yeah.
Lone Ranger. You see where? Who was the one that? Oh no, that was William Tell. He didn't ride a horse, did he? He shot his.
No, the William Tell overture is
Rossini,
is
isn't it?
theme, though, isn't it? Yes.
Rossini, isn't it? Anyway, how are you, young man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah, oh good. Back at work?
I've been back at work since the beginning of June.
Oh yes, that's right. Because you did send us a video. Oh, did you send us something where you were at work? And that was when you broke up, wasn't it? The choir, the last choir or something you were doing.
Yes, that was our Skinner's Day. It's our prize giving day, which was an entirely virtual affair.
Oh yes.
In the chapel with just the headmaster, the head boy.
Headmaster, head boy. It's so elitist, isn't it? No, it isn't. Headmaster. They all have headmasters. What am I talking about? It just sounded head boy. I don't know. Obviously, because what was it? Peter Lowry was talking about Billy Bunter the other day. That's very elitist, isn't it?
It is. Well,
back in those public in its day. I used to love all that stuff though. Jennings. Do you remember Jennings?
Oh gosh, Jennings in Derbyshire. Derbyshire used to clean his glasses once a week on a Wednesday, if I remember rightly.
Only Nigel Sadler would remember that detail.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's absolutely
Linda
great.
Kane will correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Linda, come on, sort it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so there we go. What was on your mind, young fella?
Well, I was just
a social
saying
call.
I enjoyed, well, kind of, yes.
Oh,
and
good.
Just how much enjoyed what we've seen so far for a little trip out west and into Wales.
Oh, if only it was longer. It was such a shame that it was very much managed by a clock, because poor old Julia. I was like, right, come on, we've got to go up to here. Come on, we've got to get here. It was 2 hours. When we were with floating our boat, Fran and Rich, it's so lovely. And they're so relaxed. It's like time stands still with them. They just, it's so wonderful. And I'm sort of looking at a clock every 10 seconds going, wait, we've got a 2.5 hour drive to get to Brecon Beacons yet. We've got to get back to, got to get through this lock. We've got to go, we've got to turn the boat round. Yeah, we've got to turn the boat, Rich. We've got to turn the boat round. All right, Rich, he says, calm down. But yeah, no, it was. But the journey, I wish I had filmed, and I must go back, although it was fairly horrifically frightening, crossing from where we were on the Brecon Beacons, and I can't tell you exactly, well, a place called Irwood is where we were near. We weren't in Irwood, we were sort of up there in the mountain somewhere. And the sat-nav rather, gave us this route, gave me the route, because Julia stayed, and to wherever the place was, I can't remember the name of where Patrick Holden lived, and it was across the something mountain range, and it was you get those James Bond films where they're up in the Swiss Alps or the Italian mountains or something, and you've got these sheer drop down. Instead of being, I don't know, 1,000 feet, it may have been 300 feet, but it's certainly in a very narrow lane with sheep on the bloody road. And then
I've done that at 2:00 in the morning in the Lake District. It's really quite, you have to concentrate quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit unnerving. And you know that round the corner, somebody is going to come and one of you's got to find a way to get over. And there's nowhere to move over because the only side you can move over is a sheer drop.
Yes.
The
skyhook's packed.
Yeah, and reversing is not my best thing with one eye. And judging the distance of how close the car is to either side of the road is not the best. I can judge things over 6 feet, but under 6 feet, it's not as easy. Parking for me is luckily it works in my favour because I always think when I'm parking my car, I always think I'm much closer than I am. So I'll wimp out and go, I can't get any closer to that. And people go, you've got another couple of feet, Richard. What is the matter?
Has your new van got parking sensors?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, it's got parking sense. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to just park up my back alley.
You have no idea what's going on at the back.
No,
With a van
no,
like
got
that.
just the mirrors, on the side.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that was a marvelous journey. But but the thing about it was, we both got back and we both said, "Oh, it's over." It was so quick, and this year we should have had, I don't know, 5 trips somewhere. Gone down
Easily.
to Cornwall, gone to perhaps up to Northumberland. We were going to do 5 days in a forest. We had a number of excuse me. We had a number of things planned, but so it was so nice to do it. But I just feel like this year has slipped through our fingers because of what.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. Lots of things that just haven't happened for everybody.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's not just me, is it? I mean, it has happened to other people, I'm sure.
No, but you've got all those things to look forward to. Hopefully, try and do next year.
Well, I'm certainly going to do a lot more out and about once I've got my van, because that really is exciting for me because it's got a toilet in it.
Ah, I didn't know that. That's good.
It has a toilet in it. Now, I spoke to. I was round at Julia's house and her mum was there, and I said, "Oh, my van's got this toilet." And Helen, bless her, she looked at me as if, well, that doesn't sound like a plus point. I said, "Oh, you better believe it. The amount of times you're somewhere and you're caught short and you think, cool, I can just nip in there, close the door, do whatever I want to do."
Yes.
It's got a cot in it, or a bunk. There's a sort of bunk that goes widthways, not lengthways.
Yes. Well, there should be wide enough to do that. Yeah.
So that's okay. And so that one, it's quite narrow. So it's only for one, which is all I need. And then you've got storage underneath and storage behind, and you've got a seat in front and a desk in front. You've got a toilet, which I'm actually going to hide so that when people come in, they don't immediately think they're sitting next to a toilet, because it does look a bit good, especially if I'm preparing food and stuff. So I'll have some sort of little cover thing that hides it up, make it hygienic and what have you. But I can't wait, because it means I can just go somewhere and not worry if I can't get back, or just if I'm tired, I can just make a cup of tea, have something to eat, Whereas in a car, it just feels, with a car, it just feels like you go somewhere, you do what you've got to do, and you get back in the car and you drive home.
Yes.
So it's psychological. I think it's more psychological, but there is the practical element as well.
It's like a proper Vobes mobile.
And it's black.
Yes.
Black.
And you can still badge it up as Withers and Wonka's manure.
Well, I'm going to see how much some magnetic signage will do, and I might do something like that just for a laugh, and see, because I won't, not when it's going along and what have you, but if I'm parking in a public place, I might put,
Yes.
O'Reilly's COVID clean-up van or something, something like that. People go, "Oh, I'm not going near that." Because if there's a choice between another smart van and one saying COVID, on it, people might go, "Oh, I'm not going to go near there."
Yes. I'm sure you'll come up with something
Amusing.
novel. Yes.
It's either that or septic tank cleaner, I think somebody mentioned.
Something like that, yes. Night soil remover.
Yeah, night soil. Because a lot of people won't understand what that means unless they've read a bit of history. Can't imagine many carjacks.
They've got Google.
Yeah, they go. Yeah, but just before they break into the van, they go, "There's a nice van, isn't it? It's got night soil on it. I wonder what that means." It's got a load of well, anyway, whatever it is. I can't say it on this show. Well, I can say it. I don't want to say it. A reversing camera is a wondrous thing, says Audrey Forbes. Yeah, the trouble with a reversing camera is, of course, it escapes from you. You want it on the van, really, but if it starts just reversing willy-nilly, it's like, "Where's my camera gone? It's just reversed down the road, mate." That's always doing that. Doesn't drive forward at all, that camera. Anyway, it's all good stuff. So, what I was going to ask you a question. It's just gone out of my mind. Never mind.
Are you going to let Julia build that camper van?
Let Julia build it.
Yes.
Oh,
She
yes,
asked
that
for
camper
another
van. The camper van.
Yes.
Oh, yes, hang on.
The one in the box to the back. Still in bit.
Yes,
See this,
yes. I've just brought it out. It's still here.
Yes, you're reaching around the
Julia is itching to do it. And the last time she came in, she actually said, "Shall I do it on the show?" And I said, "No, it'd be boring." And actually, she said, "No, it won't." But yeah, no, I will. It's a lovely gift, and I've been away, haven't I? That's why it's not been. I've been away. I haven't had time.
You'll have to change the calendars next week as well.
Oh yes, September is still up there with Mr. Suggett in. You can't see the calendar. I need to put the calendar in a place where people can see it.
Never mind. I look at my copy of it, so I know.
Oh well, that's it. They're above me, ladies and gentlemen, above that smashing bald head there. Look, there he is, Mr. Suggett in tiny space. I'm afraid Mr. Croser was on, and we didn't even show it once. I'm sorry, Mr. Croser. He was on the previous month, whatever that was, August.
Yes, he was August Pinup in that curious monastery.
Yes,
place.
yes. We didn't. Luckily, we didn't show that. That was a bad memory day. That one. But anyway, better show a video. Lovely to chat to you. Thank you for calling in. That's very kind of you. Oh, by the way, quick. The other question I remembered was about the minerals. Do you take minerals?
Oh, yes. We've been doing so for a long time.
And
all different kinds, and all different qualities as well. You can spend a small fortune, even a very large fortune, if you buy the very expensive ones that claim to be better than the ones you get from the high street vendor of note.
Yes. So what would be the difference? Is it it's the quality of the mineral in it? Or and what
it's in. A lot of the stuff essentially has sort of ground up chalk essentially as the base carrier, the powder
yes.
In it, or something very similar to that. So it can, if you have too many, that can lead to some certain problems. But other things have better, more refined versions of them, or are synthetic.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it's wrapped up in chalk, as you say, and the vitamin is inside this chalk puff of a tablet. And I thought to myself, just as you were saying that, what went through my mind was, yes, it's a shame they don't sort of wrap it up in some sort of vegetable or something so that when you eat it. And then, of course, I went, well, shouldn't it be in the vegetable to begin with?
Exactly.
It's like we're going round in circles now here, and the original thing, although vitamins, yeah, of course. Anyway. We'll move on and we'll play a video.
You got a show to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Before you go, then you can choose the next video. Hang on, let me just see what we've got. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Oh.
I heard it.
Did you hear it down the phone or through the microphone? Do you think?
I heard it through the phone.
Oh, excellent.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the lineup: Adrian, Mr. Norris, or Glastonbury Gabriel. You can pick one of those.
Let's go for the middle one. Let's go for Mr. Norris.
Mr. Norris and some wildflowers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Mr. Caller.
Thank you.
Take care, Mr. Sadler. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there we are, Nigel Sadler there. It's now time for our Andrew Norris moment. And for those of you who are quick off the mark, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. This is the Andrew Norris moment. Sometimes this show, it can be slick. Other times it's just completely sick.
Hello, Vobes. Coming towards the end of September. It's a bit of a dull day, but that's not a bad thing for now. Because just when you think the wildflowers have given up for the season, there are a few surprises around. This is my designated wildflower meadow. Just means I don't need to keep cutting it. But I'll show you what I discovered yesterday. In amongst this sea of chicory, this blue flower, I found this. Musk mallow. And here is the biggest collection of toadflax I've ever seen. And this is a new flower to me. I believe it's called fleabane. Still a few traces of agrimony. These are the seeds of agrimony. But why should I bother going around collecting them when I have an assistant? And here's my beautiful assistant who's been collecting agrimony seeds for me. Oh, thanks, Maggie. Good boy. Bravo. There's still quite a lot of colour here. That's why filming on a dull day is so much better. It's later in the day and the sun has come out. But that's okay because I'm going to leave our field and head off into the neighbour's wood, where I'm going to go in search of one particular flower. And it won't be hard to find it because the whole wood is perfumed with this flower. It's glorious. So let's go search. And here we are, immediately. It's this cluster of wild cyclamen. Well, that was a selection of the wild flowers which are growing particularly here. I could have gone further afield to film others, but I wanted to stay local in our piece of land, my little wildflower meadow here, and then in the neighbour's wood for the cyclamen. It'll be interesting for me to see how this progresses next year, but I'll keep you posted.
Wait a minute. That wasn't Zorro. That wasn't Zorro. What's happened to Zorro? That's what I want to know. What's happened to Zorro? Who was that? We've not seen that dog before, unless I've missed something somewhere along the lines. Is Zorro all right? I'm worried now. What happened? Please tell us what happened to Zorro. Lovely wildflowers, by the way. Fantastic. I'm envious that you know all the names so wonderfully clearly. I was reading a book by, who was it now? Somebody. And although W.H. Hudson is one and Richard Jefferies another, but I was reading this book by somebody else. And God, this guy was just rattling off these. He was talking about the Downs and he was talking about all these different things. And of course, you read them and you think, I don't know what you're talking about. I know these are names of wildflowers and they're just beautiful names, fantastic, imaginative names that I don't know where would come from. And then every now and again, because you've read them, even though you've not really registered them and you can't remember them, to bring out rote, or if you looked at a flower, you wouldn't go, oh, that's fleabane. Suddenly, the minute you say things like fleabane, you go, oh, yes, I know, I've read that. I've read that in the wildflower books, but I couldn't tell you what it looks like, but there it is. Thank you very much. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? You read these things, you've just got to be exposed to them more and more. And people in the old days would have been exposed to them. And so they would have just been very familiar, like we know the names of, well, some people know the names of those people in the media. I don't know who's famous these days. The people who I think are famous sort of 20, 30 years ago. And the people that I hear these names, Julia will say, oh, so-and-so, so-and-so, did you know that such and such? And I think, who's that? I've never heard of them. She says, oh, come on, get with it. I said, well, I don't watch the telly. I don't know who it is. Andrew Norris says, thanks, everyone. The next film will be Wildflowers in Zagreb. Excellent. But I want to know what happened to... Where's Zorro? Oh, Zorro's in the next film. Oh, phew. So whose dog is that? That was just like a random dog on a random bit of blue carpet. Very nice carpet, if you ask me. It did look like a bit of Axminster. Probably from Axminster. But anyway... well, hey, protein, says Days of Yours. Flower power, says Ron Langley. And why protein works for me. Good stuff. Lots of flowers. Ramiboo, beautiful. Andrew, lots of flowers there in the comments, which is marvellous. Mike Stevens says, such lovely wild flowers there. And Peter Lowry's lovely and interesting. It is. It is. So there we go. Oh, by the way, Peter, are you up for the challenge? We still want to see a video about how and where you find your books. I know you mentioned, you can't remember what you said now. You mentioned how you find your books, but we're very interested in your books. Ernie Samet says, had taken in North Dorset air for the day. After we decorated the house, you should stay for a weekend to sample all that is English. By the way, the house was built in 1857. I would love to come, Ernie Samet, and stay for a weekend and see your wonderful house. How amazing that would be. I shall come down in my van, and if I'm a nuisance, you can always throw me out. Let's find out who's calling in on the old Vobie One-Eye Kenobi show. Hello, caller.
Hello, Mr. Vobes.
Hello.
My name is Michael White.
Hello, Michael White. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's very nice of you to call in. I thought to myself, this sounds like a new caller.
I thought I'd ring in, actually. It might save me some money. You know you had an appeal for people to send you books.
Yes.
I've got one called Sussex Industrial Archaeology. Have you got that?
No, I haven't. I've got a number of sort of English industrial archaeology, and one about the Midlands and the wonderful the canals and the forges and all of that kind of stuff, but not Sussex specifically. He says.
Well, I think you find it quite interesting. It's got lots of photographs and things like old mills and things like that in it. So it might be useful to you.
I love these books because they do give me inspiration, and I keep looking at the books I've got, and I keep saying to myself, I had this idea. I was going to follow in the footsteps of this guy, or I was going to go and visit all the where the windmills are in Sussex, and then for some reason it doesn't get done. But it's lovely to have that knowledge so that you just can pull something out, because I'm often in need of inspiration and think, where can I go today? And then if you know that there's a little bit of industrial heritage somewhere tucked away, that there are no people, moving about, so I can get the camera out and just look like an idiot talking to a camera, make a video, that would be great. That's very kind.
Well, I've got hundreds of books, and every now and again I have a bit of a purge, but sometimes I get rid of books and then I buy them again. It's a bit silly, really.
Well, do you know, I did that fairly recently. What was I read? I was reading a book. Hang on, I've got it just up here. Just bear with me. I don't know if you can see the camera, and there'll be a delay anyway, but so I'll explain what I'm doing at the same time. So I just reached up for a book. So I've had this old book, which I've got in my hand, which is called Old English Mills and Inns. And it's a beautiful old book, and I love it because it's sort of very random. Anyway, I've had it and I've read bits of it and put it aside and all that, as you do. And then we were reading the other day, week before last, whatever it was, The Lure of Sussex. Sussex? I don't know where Sussex is. Where's Sussex? The Lure of Sussex. The Lure of Sussex by Thurston Hopkins, R. Thurston Hopkins. And I picked up this red book that I've just pulled off the shelf just now, Oldings, and it's by the same author. And do you know, I was looking online after reading The Lure of Sussex and thought, oh, there's a book here called Old English Mills and Things. I might buy that. And I put it on my wish list. And then I suddenly realised I've already got it. And I've done that. I've bought the same book because 10 years have passed. It is mad, isn't it? We are mad people.
Well, sometimes publishers are a bit crafty. They change the covers on books, and you don't always know if you have got the book,
Yes. Yeah, no, I hadn't thought of that. It's just often when it arrives and you get excited and you go, oh, look, oh, wait, I've already got this. Oh, yeah, I don't know, something about you open it up and there's the familiar picture or something, or the picture of the author or something. You go, oh, damn, I've just bought the same book again. And then one should make way. But the trouble is I probably couldn't find the original book because it'll be buried in amongst all the others somewhere.
Well, I'll put it in the post to you anyway. I think I've got another book on Lewis you can have as well, only a small guidebook, but it might be something you don't have, you know?
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much, Michael White. Have you got my address?
I have got it, yeah.
Oh, well done. I don't need to. I don't need to reveal it's 34 Acacia Avenue in case you need it. Oh no, that's not it.
Okay, well, I'll put it in the post to you then, all right?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much, and thanks for the call.
Yeah, nice talking to you. Take care.
Yeah, you look after yourself, Michael, and call again.
I will. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. There we are. Lovely Michael White. And he's sending me some books. Oh, isn't that nice? Very excited. I easily pleased. I walked past today, had to nip into town, and I walked past Badger Books. Oh, and I was in a bit of a rush to get to where I was going, and I nearly popped in there, but no, I resisted because I knew that I would be spending too much money. I've got too many books, but another a rather fascinating book. I'll get it after the next video, ladies and gentlemen. A book came in the post today, which I was very interested in. But we will go. We all. I often let Gabriel go last, and I don't mean to do that. So on this occasion, Gabriel's coming in next, and then we'll go to Adrian TurboStream. Sometimes I just realise that some people I leave to the end, and I don't really mean to leave that. I always try and get the new people who've made videos first, although these are all good old regulars, which is lovely. So it's a bit of a toss-up. So let's go to Glastonbury Gabriel. He's on the high street, and he's found that there's a new tailor in town. Ooh.
Hi there, welcome to the latest Glastonbury Gabriel video. Today we've come to meet Ashok, one of the new shop owners in Glastonbury, who's a tailor. Let's go and see what he has to say, shall we? Okay, so here we are inside the shop. This is our shop, and we're also with Vicky from Normal 4 Glastonbury, who's going to talk to Ashok about his fascinating life story and how he ended up opening a tailor shop in Glastonbury High Street of all places. So let's go.
Hi Ashok. So I understand you've been in Glastonbury for about 6 weeks with your lovely shop and tailoring service. What brought you to Glastonbury? Why here?
Just coming for visiting there. People are saying Somerset is very nice because I'm come from the Rajasthan. Rajasthan also something similar like a Glastonbury, and which town I born is exactly similar like a Glastonbury. Nice energy, nice everything. Just coming for tourists like here, and I see the people are wearing clothes like what I'm making. In 2 weeks, I have a shop here. Yeah.
It sounds like you've been very well received. People are very excited about your shop and what you do. Have you enjoyed meeting
very much enjoy. Local people, very good support. People coming with stitching, and the retired people, I'm not charge them. I give them free service, and yeah, enjoying very much.
I understand that what you're selling here is supporting a whole village in India.
Yeah, we have like a local, like a 30-40 local tailor who can't go to outside, who can't have a nice job, nice work, nice money. So we are making our own cloth, selling our own cloth, get nice profit in India, because here the pound is going 100 times more in India. So people get nice money, nice things. So try to make all village happy. Like the all village make me cloth, send me in India to England. My responsibility to make something nice for them now.
I understand that you bought your sewing machine all the way from India.
This is my lucky machine because I starting first work, my first job, machine this, and In India, it cost like before, it's maybe like a 30-40 pound. And I spent £400 to this machine to India to in UK. So this is my lucky machine.
Talk us through this machine there, Ashok. Tell me how it works.
Yeah,
exactly.
It work. To show you. It's just simple. If I want which is speed, I can work like this, or I can make like this. Yeah, easy. It's control in leg. I start job with this kind of machine. I repair myself. I can do what I want. She's like a girlfriend.
What sort of things are you selling?
We are selling like a local Rajasthani handwork, like this kind, and organic cotton. Lot of different items. Rayon, hemp, natural cotton. Lot of mixed item. Like jewelry, handmade jewelry. Local people making jewelry for me. Incense, handmade incense. Yeah.
You even give people a handmade bag, don't you, when they buy
I give the free for them this kind of bag because I'm not using plastic. So any cloth going in this bag and give them, they can use. So recycle use. So I'm not using plastic. So somebody make in India for me, I'm buying every bag from them and I give the free here. So it's nice to be help local people in India. Back in Rajasthan, quit my job and starting tailoring, and then I'm starting tailoring, learning for the trouser and man shirt how to make, and in 15 days I'm gonna starting make a trouser. And my first trouser cost 6 pence. They give me charge when I make first trouser. He give me 6 pence.
How about that? I noticed there that Gabriel had been quite swift in selling a shook, was it? A bicycle wheel. Could you see that when he panned the camera down? And there was a bicycle wheel going round. He probably sold him one of those, fixed it in for him. I know what Glastonbury Gabriel was like. He tried to fix a bicycle wheel and the handlebars to my drone. He's already got the bell on it, so when it goes over, it goes ding ding. I don't know. Anyway, fascinating. Somebody like that could, if Jeff's jacket, is Jeff Kellison out there? Good old lovely Jeff. If Jeff's jacket hasn't arrived, Glastonbury, you could, Gabriel, you could get him to run you up a new smashing, unique jacket. Look very good on you. Would look absolutely great. I just got out, nipped out quickly to make myself a cup of coffee. And I noticed that I had one of these very special stylish mugs. I don't know if you've seen any of these. They're particularly nice stylish mugs, and I think they're only available at certain places in the UK. See if you can find one. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now, if you buy from me, they're about 35 quid. But I think if you go to Floating Our Boats channel, you can get them a hell of a lot cheaper. Anyway, it holds coffee in a very voluptuous way. Hello, here we go. We get another phone call. I wanted to show you this book as well that I've just nipped out to get. But let's find out who's on the end of the line. Hello, who's on the end of the line?
Evening, all.
Evening. How did I know it was you, Mr. Glastonbury Gabriel? So
I had to come back at that quote about the bicycle wheel.
Yeah, you did. I could see it was definitely one of yours.
But did you notice it wasn't rope? It was just a piece of rope, white rope he has driving that.
Well, I thought that's...
loop of it.
Yeah, a loop of white rope instead of a nice bit of rubber belt.
Yes. I mean, I don't want to give away too much because part 2 is coming on Monday, but he's an amazing guy. He was sent over, they all kicked together to send him over here. And obviously he buys all his material from the village he comes from. And then he buys those bags and a lot of money. And basically, he goes on about it later on. His mission, the village hasn't got electricity yet, and it hasn't even got a bus. It's about 3 or 4 kilometres to the nearest bus stop. And his mission is to get the money to provide a bus service into the village so that they can, better themselves, get into town and find jobs and do whatever they need to do.
Fantastic.
I think it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't charge people. He had a lady come in with a dog and she saw it doing to a dog coat. He just ran it up, didn't charge her.
Just what did he do? He just stitched up the dog's mouth, did you say?
Yeah, he sewed the dog's back leg to its front leg, called it hopping.
Yeah, nice. Very good. Yeah, no, it's lovely. What a multi-task. Well, I think you'll do well there in Glastonbury, won't you? Are you getting tourists back in?
Yeah, there's plenty of tourists in town. In fact, it's stuffed with them at the moment.
Oh, is it?
The other thing you mentioned was the jacket from Jeff Kellison arrived.
Yes. What's it like?
It is absolutely. I love it. I adore it. It's out of this world. It's fantastic, but it's too small.
Oh no!
No. Yeah, because he got me an American extra large, and the first thing I did was hop on my bike and cycle around to see Ashok and say, "Ashok, help!" And he said, "That's a medium." Effectively, that's not an extra large.
Hang on a minute. Wait. That's almost the wrong way round, isn't it? It was an American extra large. I mean, that's tent size, is it not? What? Not without.
You would think with the average American being sort of 2XXL anyway.
Yeah.
You would think XXXL would be quite liberal in its dimensions, but no, this is not. I mean, it's probably a 40. I'm a 46-inch chest. I think this is probably a 44, 43.
Oh, I see. So,
Jeff, bless him, he's going to send me another one.
No.
He's going to send me another one. 2 sizes bigger. Because then our shop can make it fit. But it also came with amazing little bit of bling on the lapel, like one of these two-part lapel badges connected by little chains with a crown on the top. It's amazing. I will wear it. I just can't do it up.
Right.
From the chest up, you probably wouldn't notice. So I just won't do any distance shots.
Well, when your new one arrives, you must take a photograph and send it in, or of course you wear it in a video, no doubt.
I'm going to wear it in a video. I'm going to go and shoot a video on Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to shoot, but I'll shoot something just so I can wear the jacket. It's amazing.
Amazing.
You don't see anything like it.
No.
It's absolutely brilliant. I'm in love. If I'd have seen it in a shop, I'd have crossed the high street to buy it. It's amazing.
Oh, good old Jeff. And I take it Jeff's not out there at the moment.
I don't know. I've not seen him. We're in touch. Do you remember I did that video about how to make videos on your phone?
Yeah.
And I used that picture of my little granddaughter. Well, apparently Jeff's sister really loved that picture.
Oh.
So I've sent her a copy of it for her wall. She has this wall of quirky photos. So
wow.
I've sent her that picture. Obviously, I asked Lily first. She was tickled pink. Her picture's going on someone's wall in America.
Wow.
And I think she's going to email her and they're going to say hello to each other.
Oh,
that's interesting.
Good old Jeff. Good old Jeff.
He's up in Philadelphia last time we spoke.
Oh, is he?
Away from all that fire. And
good. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, I must.
It's like the 7 days of the apocalypse in America, isn't it?
I know. You can't turn anything on in America now without just thinking that it's all gone up in smoke. I mean, it's just weird. As long as it stays over there, I don't want it over here.
Yeah. I do worry about Jeff driving around in the middle of all that, but I'm sure he's okay, him and Pete.
He's a tough cookie. He used to do the ice runs or whatever they called them.
He's done loads of stuff. Worked in the steel works.
Yeah.
I think he's got a tug license as well. He said he's quite interesting. Driven the train.
Yeah, he's a.
His guy's Casey Jones. Do you remember Casey Jones?
Casey Jones, steaming and a rolling. Casey Jones, you never have to guess. When you hear the tooting of the whistle, it's Casey at the footplate of the Cannonball Express. Diddly dum, diddly dum, diddly dum dum. No, never heard of it. What's it about?
No, me neither. But there was 2 Casey Jones at the same time.
Was there?
I was a kid. There was a Casey Jones truck driver.
Right.
And there was a Casey Jones train driver.
Casey Jones, steaming and set me off again.
Yeah, that's him, yeah. I mean, Jeff's been both of them. He's a real life Casey Jones, bless him. Wonderful guy.
Julia says, Gabriel, thanks so much for the gift. I look forward to using it on Monday's show. Yeah, I dropped it round when we came back from our trip the other day and she opened it up. She was thrilled. We're not going to say what it is until the Monday show.
I hope it works, and it looks because I just hope it works and everything's good.
It's so far it is throwing out those gold sovereigns just as you promised it would.
Oh, brilliant! brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. That's fantastic.
It's amazing. You put in those £5 notes, which seem to disappear, on a carrier pigeon to Glastonbury, I think, and then it comes out with these rubber gold sovereigns. It's a work in a treat.
It's the duck that laid the golden goose or something.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. Very good.
Mm.
Hey ho. Anyway, we better play the last video.
I'll package you up that gimbal to have a try.
Oh yeah.
You get on with for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, be interesting.
It's good. It will work with your 7. If you've got an 8, I think the 8's too big to physically fit it. But
right.
For your 7, it will just give you an idea how small and lightweight these things are. And I think
I started off with a gimbal. I've still got 2 gimbals. One I broke because I used it for 365 days consecutively, and it just died because the motors were gaming. So I bought it again. I've still got it.
What one is that?
It's a very early Zaya something. The Zaya something.
June. Yeah. June. Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it. It's ZH something IAUM.
Yeah, I've got the Weevil. I've got their big pro one, the Weevil.
Yeah. Before, I mean, this was one of their first things they came out, and I did a little review about it, and they were very pleased. I did it on Instagram years ago. Anyway, neither here nor there. We've got to better get it to the last video.
Okay, well, this one that's coming your way is Frayutech G5.
Oh, sounds posh.
Yeah, all metal construction, really nicely made, but small.
Small.
Anyway.
All right. Thank
you. Have you back.
Thank you very much.
Talk next week.
Yeah, I'll talk to you next week. Take care, Squire.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we are, the lovely Glastonbury Gabriel, and a bit of technical talk, and he still didn't admit to the bicycle wheel, but hey-ho. Before we play the last video, this was the book that came in the post today, ladies and gentlemen, A Breath of England by Norman Weimer. And I've got another book by Norman Weimer about the village, I think it's called. He's a lovely writer. I've started reading a bit of him, and he again, written in the 40s. It's just, and some beautiful pictures of places in England in black and white, and he goes along the south coast in this, really, I think. It's a bit about the land of the Grail, which I assume is in the Cheddar, Shepton Mallet, Bridgewater, all round in Somerset, where Glastonbury is, Cadbury Castle, Bloody Assizes, and what have you. Anyway, lovely book. I'm looking forward to reading that. Might be one of the books on our reading list for the live readings. Anyway, poor old Adrian's been waiting, but we've got some views for you to look at from South Pembrokeshire. So let's go. There was no graphic there. That was actually me. Just in case you thought that was the graphic, that was actually just live action me. Adrian's down there in Pembrokeshire. What time is it, Adrian, where you are?
Well, good evening, Vobesters. It is now, if I can find the thing on my watch, 17:13 on a Wednesday evening. We're down in the darkest, deepest Pembrokeshire. We're on the southwest coast, Pembrokeshire. So let's not look at me, let's look at the view, because that's what we've come for. Well, this is the view we've got. So we're looking towards South Wales, so the Gower. But we're on a place called St Govern's Head. Hopefully I'll put a map up. But you can see we have got a fantastic view. Look at that. It doesn't get any better than that, to be honest. That way's looking towards North Devon. Eventually. We'll pan round this way. This is normally closed for the military. It's a tank firing range, but for some reason today it said it was shut, but it's open, so I've taken the opportunity to come and have a look. It's one of my favourite places in the whole world. Absolutely stunning coastline. There's a lovely quiet beach down there. Somebody's on the beach with walking the dogs. I'll show you get to there. I need to go find that myself. That's where we're heading next. That's called Long Matthews Point, and the views from there are even more stunning. So let's go and look at that.
How about that? Oh, you tease! You tease! I love coastlines like that. Those, the Pembrokeshire coastline is amazing. I remember staying down there near St David's with my son Stanley, and you can walk along, and you walk right on the bloody edge. You know, it's like, phew, you could easily, whoa, you know, if you're slightly feeling a bit like, oh, this is the, I've had enough, you did, whoa, that's it. You'd never, no one would find you. I mean, your body would wash up, no doubt, in 100 pieces at some point. But, and the funny thing is that we were walking along there, took my son Stanley about 4 or 5 years ago. We were walking along there, and I said, what do you think? And we did, I think I recorded a podcast of our walk. I must dig that out. And I said to Stan, it's amazing this, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. And he just said, yeah, it's all right. I said, no, it's not just all right. It is staggeringly beautiful. It's nature, you know, raw, harsh nature. The what happens in this world when humans don't intervene at all. It's raw. And he just, he said, but if it was a computer generated image, he said, I would have more appreciation for it, because man would have had to recreate it. And I guess that was, he was interested in computer games and recreating all these things. So that was his bent. And, you know, there was 28 years difference between him and me. So I guess that's the way things were. And I could appreciate it. You know, if John Constable had sat down and painted it, or Turner, or someone like that, you know, they would have turned it into something. It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same raw. You're seeing the real thing there, and they would have made it into something equally beautiful. But I can't find computer graphics beautiful. I can't. It doesn't do anything for me. Amazing coastline. So yeah, absolutely. So there we go. Mike Stevens says, just look like North Cornwall. I mean, the English coastline varies so much and has similar moments. You could see bits that look like other bits. It's what was his name? Jim. What was it? Who's walking the country? Going around I think he's done it now and he's putting up the videos. I think he's finished it. I'm not sure. 5,000 miles or whatever it was. Something I would love to do is to walk the coastal path all around, but I would want to just spend more time filming how where the sea meets the land changes, and you know, find out about what fish are in there and the marine life that there is, the type of seaweed, the stories of shipwrecks, the type of the lifestyle of the people, whether they be sailors or fishermen or nautical. Well, obviously nautical, I meant navy, you know, from different periods all around the coast will have a different story, because different people will go into the different oceans. The Channel, you've got the North Sea, you've got the Atlantic, you've got the Irish Sea and all of that. But absolutely amazing to go around there and chronicle it with taking little snapshots and little almost video postcards of each little bit, and as you go around, see that difference. That would be fantastic to do. Worth waiting for, Turbo, says Andrew Norris. Stunning views and practically no one else around. Exactly. And also we didn't have to see anybody in one of those flaming masks, lickable masks. There, the next thing. Mike Stevens says, well worth waiting for on tenterhooks until Monday, which will be the next show. Beautiful, fantastic, great views, nature. Thanks all, says Turbo Stream. Elfwold says, wow, that's nice. I keep dreaming. Then I can keep dreaming. You can. The Southwest Postal Carth. The Southwest Postal Carth is beautiful, especially Mousel, says. Actually, we haven't seen Mark Selwer. Mousel, Richard, Mousel. It's funny because I was reading a bit about Cornwall in the beginning of this. In the beginning of this first chapter, it talks about a land apart. It's a lovely book. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's 9:33, 3 minutes over. Thank you so much for joining us. It's nice to be back in the hot seat. Thank you for your videos. Please, please, please keep sending them in. If you've not made a video, they don't have to be of any huge standard. I mean, Glastonbury makes it look very easy, but they can be very simple things. And just take your phone out, show us some stuff, a little bit of commentary. If you don't want to be in it, if you're a bit camera shy, turn it the other way round. Show us where you live, the village, the town, or something, a hobby, your books that you like, anything, because we're a nosy bunch. We want to find out. This is a lovely community that we've built up here. And you guys are the stars of the show. I just anchor this. You guys are the stars. So please do keep sending those videos in. It really is what makes the show. Do give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Helps the old algorithm get a few more people in, etc., etc. And thanks to Judith and Julia for making sure that everyone's behaving themselves. And thank you to our video contributors, to Glastonbury Gabriel, to Mike Dixon, to Andrew Norris, and to the one we've just seen, Adrian from TurboStream. And to our phone calls and everything else. And it's a weekend time. So sorry it's only been one show this week, but back again on Monday. Full set of shows next week. And then Julia and I are away on Saturday, next Saturday, not tomorrow, on our narrow boat. And it won't be the same as the wonderful Fran and Rich, but we'll do our best to chart our journey from the River Thames, where we start, down by London Bridge. And we'll get up to Oxford. I think we're a bit north of London Bridge, actually. I think we're just a little bit north of that. But anyway, whatever. We will see you then. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. It's been great fun. Need to come back into the show. Come back there. Go to there. And that's it. I still haven't got an ending proper for this, but I'll play the opening because it's quite fun. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care. Don't forget, tomorrow, Patrick Holden on the show. Big interview. Very nice. Very beautiful, beautiful countryside. Lovely bloke. Great interview. Really appreciated his time and all of that. Have a great weekend and see you on the Vobes Show on Monday. Till then, goodbye. Goodbye.